Good morning, everyone. A few minutes late this morning. We had a little technical problems. James having a little problem with the video back there, but I think we're ready now. If y'all will stand with us, we'll say the prayer and pledge of allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just come to you thanking you, Lord, for all you do for us. Lord, I just ask you just to be with us today if we make the decisions for the county, that we would be wise in what we decide, and Lord, just help us to make the right decisions in everything that we do. Lord, just go with us now and help us and be with our first responders and our folks overseas, Lord, that are defending our country. Just ask you just to watch over them, take care of them. Lord, just go with us now and be with us in everything that we do today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Notice is hereby given that the special meeting of the Commissioners Court of Titus County will be held today, 9 a.m., just after 9. Number one on the agenda is public comments and requests for information. We've got two here, looks like. Steve Austin.
Thank you, Commissioners. Last Commissioners meeting had an action item that was tabled, supposed to be considered today. Since it didn't make the agenda, I want to clarify the purpose of the original motion, and that was for the Historical Commission to provide Titus County flags to entities within the county. On this proposal, I was allowed to have alternative locations in the event those on the designated list don't want a flag necessarily. Commissioners have indicated they didn't necessarily need one for their offices. How about yourself, Commissioner Parker?
Yeah, I'd like to have one for my office. So
there'll be 3 flags presented by the Historical Commission to other alternatives, one to you, one to the Titus County Commissioner's Courtroom, Annex A Courtroom, Annex B Justice Center, Civic Center, and Extension Office, and like I said, other alternative locations. Our intent is to utilize the $2,818.88 that's in the Historical Commission Fund, which are not county funds and are not public funds, for the purchase of flags and presentation, and are needed the authorization from the Commissioners Court to direct the treasurer to issue checks in the amount not to exceed the $2,818.88 that's in the fund. And I'll be providing invoices to the treasurer for the necessary checks. There'll probably be in the amount of 2 checks. The amounts at the bottom have indicated what 13 flags was cost and 1 outside flag. So I'm going to expend the resources in the fund and the balance being a separate check. But all the funds that go to the acquisition of Titus County flags.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
No, I don't see any, Steve. We appreciate it. We will get this on the next agenda.
However y'all want to handle it.
Okay.
You can do it in a special session.
I don't know the special meeting or anything we've got coming up, but just as soon as the judge is supposed to be back Wednesday, and I'll get with him and talk with him about it and see how he wants to handle it.
Okay. Just for clarification purposes, the request would be for the Commissioners Court to approve the county locations in which we've designated and release of $2,818.88 from the fund for the acquisition of flags.
All right.
Of course, any entity that opts out of the list that we've designated, we have alternative locations for them to go.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll definitely take care of that. Thank you, Steve. Mary Flowers.
Thank you for letting me address. The last Commissioners Court, we were discussing the sealed bids. I don't want to discuss that. What I want to discuss are the procedures that governs the Commissioners Court and any type of construction project on this level. Their purchasing law, I'm reading from a paper written by the Biggerstaff, Heath Delgado Acosta, LLP law firm in Austin, Texas. This is the purchasing law basics for counties. I don't know if you have that with you when you're making these decisions for bids. But each government entity, whether the state or the city, county, or the other local government, has a group of laws that sets out the procurement requirements for that entity. You're also governed by, that's Texas Local Government Code 262, and also Chapter 2269 of Texas Government Code, which is Alternative Construction Delivery Methods for Public Work Projects. Excuse me, I'm nervous. Is there a purchasing agent for Titus County?
What was that, Mary?
A purchasing agent?
We did have a purchasing agent, but we have got the auditor's office now is handling all of our POs and bid processes and all.
From my understanding, the purchasing agents, it was appointed by a board and can only be let go from the board, by the board.
Not for our population county, though. I think you have to have a certain population.
I think it was 100,000 or less.
Yeah, and we're less than that. So.
Yeah, so 100,000 or less, you're governed by, let me find that. I think it's 262 of the Texas Government Code. And 262.011 has to do with purchasing agents. And they're appointed by a board. So there's no purchasing agent, and we don't know who.
No, we're not a large enough county to have one, I understand. So we didn't have a purchasing agent. Actually, James was our business manager. That's what he was. Yeah, he helped with purchasing.
But per my understanding, there has to be, even smaller counties, there's a board.
Not that we're
Made
aware
of 2
of.
district judges and a county judge. Sometimes it's a county judge and a district judge. And sometimes it's a district judge and a commissioner.
Not that we're aware of.
So you're out of compliance. Thank you.
You ever heard anything like that, Barbara?
No. Mr. Parker, do you mind if I speak?
No.
Ms. Flowers, in the county our size, my understanding is that those duties fall to the county judge, and he asked me to take those on when I came to work for the county. As far as following those requirements, to the best of my knowledge, we meet all of the purchasing requirements, and we are not required to have a board because of the size, the population of our county. Our county population is currently around 32,000. We are waiting on the new census, but I don't think we're ever going to approach, in any of the lifetimes of the people in this room, the requirement to have that board. So do you have a specific question?
Well, I guess my specific question was how everything was handled Friday.
Yes.
You weren't here.
Right.
You weren't here.
Well, let me explain to you, that's been a long process. It's not something that just happened on Friday. The problem that happened with the Justice Center was from the snowpocalypse that we had in February, and we've been working with the Texas Association of Counties because they hold our insurance coverage.
Right.
And Mr. Glenn Calvert with Freeport Designs has worked closely with the commissioners and with Judge Lee, and he advertised as was required, the local newspaper and also some other organizations that get information out to construction people. I know there's been some considerations from some questions from people within the county because, you know, a project of this size requires insurance and bonding, which in some cases keeps local vendors from participating. But we function under the government laws, not the same way you would do with your home or with a local business. The question specifically that came to me was related to sequential purchasing. Could we let out the bid for the floors and then let out the bid for the walls and let out the bid for the ceiling? Sequential purchasing is specifically noted as inappropriate for government purchasing.
Correct.
So to the best of my knowledge, we have met all those requirements.
Okay. One more thing. I also read that, because there were only two bids, we had a high bid and a low bid. It's not necessarily the low bid that gets it, it's the low bid and has the best value for the county. There are two criteria to awarding a bid. The lowest and best value. And that only comes from being able to, that you've negotiated and you've discussed with the contractor, and that's all I have to say. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to number 2, consider and possibly approve minutes from June 14th, regular meeting of the Commissioners Court.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Got a motion
Second.
and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 3, consider and possibly approve minutes from June 23rd, special meeting of Commissioners Court.
Make a motion.
Got a motion? Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 4, consider and possibly approve minutes from June 25th, special meeting.
Make that motion.
Okay. Got a
I'll
motion?
second.
Jeff and John. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Report from commissioners regarding road work status. Jeff, we'll start with you.
All right, we finished up County Road 1345. Yeah, I had a lot of soft spots in it, got them repaired, got it ready for primer and chip seal. We've been trimming some trees, patching some potholes, and replacing culverts.
Okay, Precinct 2, we have been cleaning a lot of ditches. We cleaned some ditches on 1030 and got that, finished some paving over there over some base failures, and now we're just waiting for it to set up and cure out real good so we can chip seal that sometime maybe in August. On 1070, we did some paving, and we put in 3 culverts for some individuals on 1070 and did some ditch work over there, some drainage issues that really been a long time coming. We did some pothole patching as we had time in between some of these bigger jobs, and on 1170 we have a base failure out there that we went and dug out and filled in, and we're going to pave over that this week if the rain allows it. So hopefully got material coming in to cover that up, and we're out there potholing, fixing that road up today. Started mowing, and we got most everything on that south west side of my precinct, the other side of 271, on the east side of 271, and we're headed down 3417 by the lakes, and we're going to We're going out towards the Blodgett Monticello area today. Did some side cutting one day on some trees that were drooping over. And that's it for now.
We put in about 7 or 8 culverts last week, been washed out, had a couple of big ones we had to replace, and got mowing going on. We side cutted all over the county, and now we're starting on the mowing. We should be finished it in the next week and a half. And we've been patching and scabbing. We had the roads messed up. The rain sure messed them up, but we getting on it.
Precinct 4, we've been side cutting. We've got a road that we've been working on now since last summer, really, off and on, when we could, and we've been scabbing on it. We sprayed it one day last week, getting ready for seal coat, and hope to be ready to do that sometime. We like just a couple of little spots that we've got to scab and get through with that. We're going to be ready to seal coat that road, and we've been patching when we could, and have installed a couple of 3 culverts. So got several more culverts we've got to put in, but we're trying to get that road finished before we start them. So it's on another road that we're going to try to do. So as soon as we can get that done, we'll be ready to do some seal coating, I think. Thank you, Commissioners. Number 6, update on repairs and improvements to the Justice Center, including scope of work with possible action. Steve, you got anything for us on that, or?
Yeah, I wanted to clarify the alternates.
Wait, if you would come up, Mike, please.
We discussed the alternates, and I wanted to clarify that. I talked to Justin Stansel, and after talking to him, there was somewhat of a gray area the way we had the alternates listed. To do the entire building and the upgraded wood plank flooring, it would be a combination of alternate 2 and 3 to get that. If you wanted just to do the plain 12 by 12 ceramic tile throughout, that means replacing or demoing the existing and replacing all of it with the same 12 by 12. It would only be alternate 2. But if you wanted to add the wood grain throughout the entire, it would be a combination of 2 and 3. And to clarify, alternate number 1. In the end gables of the building, there's our panel up there. There's going to be some fans removed that we no longer need in the north and the south end. And instead of replacing those 2 sheets, or where it might be 3 sheets and them being different colors, because I mean it's weathered, that alternate number 1 is just replacing the entire end gable with new R panel, and that's alternate 1. So it's up to you guys to decide, what you want to do there.
All right, so to do the flooring with the wood grain panel throughout the building was a combination of 2 and 3.
Correct.
All right. I don't think I've got that done.
$12,060 to do.
What was that?
The 2 and 3 combined was $12,060. Alternate 2 by itself was $5,760, but to do the upgraded wood flooring, that would be an additional $6,300, and that's the combination of 2 and
3. We're actually doing a combination here of 6, 7, and 8 here together. No, 6 and 7. I'm sorry. The 7 was considering possibly award the contract for the repairs. We awarded the contract to Stansel last week, on Friday. So that part is taken care of. We just need to take care of the alternates. And Commissioners, you hear what Wade just said there? What y'all's
I like that
position?
new siding. It needs to be replaced because there's a couple different repairs on that one end of the building. So it makes sense to me. that was brought up when we were touring over there.
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it. Like I said, I'd rather have it looking good over there than part two different type deal over there. Flooring, so I just think we just go with the one good flooring. And go the option 2 and 3.
Without the 2 and 3, just go with
No, go with it.
Go with the 2 and 3 for the $12,050. And then, what was the total, again, Wade, on the end panels?
Alternate number 1, which was the R panel, was an additional $3,600 to replace all the R panels on the end gables. So it sounds like you want alternate 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. That what I'm hearing from everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody want to make a motion on that?
I make a motion.
Got a motion, do I hear a second? Jim? All right, we've got a motion and a second to approve Stancil to do the 1, 2, and 3 alternate bids that were given, which is the 1 is the R panel gabled ends. 2 and 3 will be replacing the flooring throughout the building. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Wade, we appreciate it. Appreciate what y'all have done for us. Number 6, we had no action on. That will be listed under agenda number 7. All right, moving on to number 8, consider and possibly approve a revised quote to renovate both pairs of public restrooms at the courthouse annex to improve pedestal sinks, full repaint, and replace lighting at a cost of $48.50. We had a bid on this for $33.50 that was approved back on 3/8/21, and we after further checking and all, they decided it was probably best if we go with the I put new sinks and all in there too, because of those that are hanging on the wall. They're going to do pedestal sinks and the full paint and all, which will bring the cost up to $48.50 from $33.50. So it's another what is it? $1,500. And that bid was awarded to Big Dog Roofing and Construction. What do y'all think about that?
What I understood was it was upgrading those 2 back bathrooms back in the back for courtroom and B courtroom between the B and the judges' chambers, and all the juries and stuff come out and go in there, those judges' room, those jury rooms and stuff. Yeah. So that's going to, that original bid wasn't really upgrading those with paint. They got old hanging on the wall sinks, and we're going to put those pedestal seats on like $100. We already had the faucets for them. So painting that, except for the stalls, we're not going to paint the stalls. They're metal, they'll be fine. And putting in some LED lighting, some can lights in there. It's pretty grungy. It'll be a nice upgrade.
What's y'all's pleasure on that?
Make a motion, we do it.
I'll second it.
Okay. Got a motion and a second to upgrade the bid from $33.50 to $48.50 to redo the 2 back bathrooms in the annex. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, number 9, consider and possibly approve a quote from Newman Electronics in the amount of $850 to remove and replace surveillance equipment at the Justice Center before and after renovation work. That all that surveillance equipment and all has got to be removed over there, and Newman's has got the contract on taking care of all that, and of course this is above and beyond what the contract is for. So that's $850 to remove and then replace it after the work is finished.
Make a motion, we accept it.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the work, Newman Electronics work on, to remove and replace the surveillance equipment at the Justice Center. All in favor?
Aye.
Consider and possibly approve annual road reports of county commissioners. I'm going to let Commissioner Fitch kind of explain what that is.
Okay, there's a traffic statute on the Texas books that call for a road report since the 1930s, and what this report does is just kind of give some basic outlines of what's going on in the county per precinct. What it mainly would do, if we were doing a contract on something, that contract would be included, and that was what it was brought up for in the 30s. Apparently somebody would contract 30 miles and only get 15 miles out of the deal, and so they started documenting this every year, so if they have a contract, somebody can check on it and make sure it gets completed. We have filled these out before, mainly when we do these TxDOT grants, and they would have this one sheet, which is the Texas Road Report for commissioners, and they would have their alternative sheets on there that had 4 or 5 other pages to answer. This one's just the simple one on the 9th month of each budget year, so we'll start doing this every year, and it's 6 questions, so we all turn them in, got them approved. It'll go over to the district judge's office, and when they have a grand jury, they will approve those reports, and we'll have them on file. So everybody's turned theirs in.
I've got all 4 of the sheets here. They will
They'll be on our amendments to our on our records on the internet. So make a motion that we approve all the road reports.
Got a motion to approve all of the annual road reports.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Approve oral and written reports.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve of oral and written reports. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll sit down, let them sign it. Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell me who made the motion and second on that item number 11?
Number 11.
I made the
Dana made the
motion.
motion and Jeff second.
Thank you.
All right, we got number 12, consider and possibly approve the treasurer's report.
Make a motion we approve the report.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the treasurer's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 13, approve budget amendments. We got any amendments, Barbara?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Number 2021-39 is for the elections office. The net impact to the budget is 0 on this one. It's to decrease the election expense and offsetting increase to travel to allow sufficient funds to attend the election law seminar and increase to software maintenance to cover the increase in the annual cost of Vista. This was requested by Pam Holmes. The next one is 2021-040. It's for Precinct 1 and Precinct 3. Again, the net impact to the county is 0. It's moving line items from one line item to another. For Precinct 1, it's an increase in gravel and rock and a decrease in other road materials of $5,000. And in Precinct 3, it's an increase to culverts and a decrease to other road materials for $5,000. And the last one is 2021-041. It's for the sheriff's office and the sheriff's commissary. It's what we did is we went through and looked at their entire budget. You know, the sheriff's department spends, costs a lot of money to run our jail and to keep things moving. And so he looks at that monthly, and there are some items that needed a little more money here, a little less money there. The net impact, again, is 0. It's just moving from one line item to another. It's a decrease in office expense and an increase to transport meals and an increase to medical transport costs. Those items are paid through payroll only when an officer transports medical inmates in need of medical attention. A decrease to GPS tracking system. Sheriff Ingram found a better way and a less expensive way to do that, and a decrease to camera supplies of $100, an increase to prisoner medical expense. I do want to call one thing to your attention. This particular item has a net impact of 0 to the county, but I will read to you what he told me. The first thing is federal prisoner inmate medical is not the responsibility of Titus County, and these costs do not include any costs for federal prisoners. And the next thing is the cost is difficult to estimate because it depends upon the health of the prisoners, and you never know what that might be. He has, within his budget, made all the adjustments that he can make. If there's any other line item, if this line item needs to be increased in the future, that will have to come from general contingency. He asked for me to make sure that y'all were aware of that. And the last item is they have to have a new jail security system within the jail. And so he has got money in his commissary account, so he's requested $25,000 from funds he already has on hand to be used for that jail security system. Any questions?
Was that security system part of the result from the inspection that we had?
Yes, sir. The way that they've done it in the past is they have kept manual written sheets. And my understanding is when they did the inspection, their question was, why are you doing this manually? It's very difficult to keep up with the number of prisoners that they have now. And they recommended a company that has the software that's used by a lot of jails in the area. And Sheriff Ingram is looking into that to meet those requirements.
Okay. All right. Y'all hear these budget amendments?
Make a motion we approve the amendments.
Got a motion from Commissioner Fitch.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Adderwhite. Pay orders and approve payments. Pay your bill. Oh, all in favor, I'm sorry. Aye. Pay orders and approve payments.
Make a motion to pay your bills.
Second.
Got a motion and a second from Commissioner Fitch, Commissioner Applewhite, to pay our bills. All in favor?
Aye.
Closing comments. I don't know of anything that I have. Dana? No. John?
We got moved into the new DA's office over at the Annex Thursday, and it went real smooth. The ladies in the office moved almost everything. I mean, they didn't mess around. They actually started on it Wednesday afternoon, and We just moved a few filing cabinets. Everybody's getting settled in over there. It's really nice. I'm really proud of it. Also, I just wanted to say Tim Ingram doing a really good job with that commissary money. That's money that's from the store where we sell things to prisoners, like toothpaste and toothbrushes and all kind of stuff, and that's going to good use for that security system. We also can use it. We can use it for certain jail items, which comes in real handy, saving tax dollars. It's been a good program. All right.
Jill? Okay. We've got before y'all get away, we've got a couple of things here that we need to sign where they can get a bill paid here. We need to sign this one. This one, I think it was just. I think that's everything. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Got a motion? Second by Commissioner Parchman. All in favor? Aye. Thank y'all for being here today.